In part C, we're given the standard form ax plus by equals c, and we're supposed to rewrite that into slope-intercept form. Now, the first thing I'll do is subtract ax from both sides. And when you do that, you'll end up with c minus ax. Here you'll have by left by itself. Now, I'm going to rewrite it so that it is in the order of mx plus b. So I switch the order here and get the opposite of ax plus c. Now my last step is to divide both sides by b. The b and the b will simplify to 1, and we'll be left with y by itself. And so now we have to divide each term by b. And when I do that, I end up with the opposite of a over b. This is my slope then. It's in the place of m. My slope, x, and then my intercept turns out to be c over b. Now it's important to realize that this lowercase b is our intercept. This b was actually the coefficient of the y when we were given it in standard form. Okay, now moving on to question number 2. We're given a little bit of information here. It says that both a and b are not 0. However, one of a or b may be equal to 0. So now, write the standard form if a equals 0. So that would be 0 times x plus b times y is equal to c. Now, 0 times x would be 0, so then we would be left with by equals c. Now, if a is 0, we get this situation. b would be negative 1, so we'd have negative 1y is equal to 3. Now, if I rewrite this equation and divide both sides by negative 1, we would get y is equal to negative 3. Now notice this is the equation for a horizontal line. Now, down here it says graph the line on the grid, describe the graph. So if I were to graph that line, it would be a horizontal line through negative 3, and the slope in this case would be 0. Now, the next question, it says write the standard form if b equals 0. So here we would have ax plus 0 times y equals 0. Now 0 times y is 0, and so we'd be left with ax equals c. So now, if I take this equation and write it as 1x equals negative 6, see, 1x equals negative 6, that's the same equation as x equals negative 6. Now, that is the equation for a vertical line. And if I graph that line here, x equals negative 6, we can see that we have a vertical line, and here the slope is undefined. Right?